on a Monday night. I woke up here in London and was like, oh, I wonder who won. Upset City. I loved it. Big day for the Bears, a big day for Bijan Robinson and the Falcons. And I don't really feel bad about the teams that lost either. I think, well, maybe I'm a little worried about the Bills. Not that worried, though, about the Commanders. They looked good. Jaden looked good. I'll give you all my thoughts. I have two guys that always look good, whether they have hair or not. We've got Will Compton, Taylor Lewan of Bussin with the boys. Lots going on in the college football world. I keep seeing it on my timeline. What does it mean? I don't know. I'm going to my first college football game probably in like 15 years this weekend. I'm excited about that. And we have Giants Tackle Jermaine Eluemunor. Big win for those Giants last week. We got Dart, Skattebo, all the things right now. I am not a fan of a doubleheader usually on a Monday night. This got me thinking maybe I love them. Okay. Electric football, both of these games. Here's my takeaways for the two. I'd like to start with the Falcons. Congrats to them, their fan base, everybody. What an upset over the Bills. For starters, number one, it finally happened. The Falcons have figured out how to use all the talent that they have on both sides of the ball. And this is nice. And it has them looking like a playoff team. Wait, we'll get there. Of course, it begins with Bijan. 230 yards is crazy. The Bills defense had no answer for him. Gosh, one of the most frustrating things is in it. It's kind of British. Am I turning British? Do I want to stay here forever? I think I do. I feel like one of the most very frustrating things to watch in the NFL over the past few seasons has been Atlanta's not even unwillingness, their inability to somehow get him in the position to look like this all-world talent that we know that he is. We saw shades of it over the second half of last year, but this offensive coordinator, credit to him, attaboy Zach Robinson, he's got things cooking right now. Bijan, so far, really one of the best running backs, or one of the best seasons that we've seen out of a running back. Jonathan Taylor doing his thing. It's nice to see these guys shine. He's not only leading the league in total yards, even though he's had his bye week already. He is putting up more yards per game than any running back ever right now. I'm going to say that again. Not only leading the league in total yards, even though he's had his bye week already, which is already insane, he is putting up more yards per game than any running back ever right now. More than Priest Holmes, 2002-ish, more than CJ2K, more than Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer, greatest show on turf vibes, okay? There's no reason to think he's not going to stay in this great company for the rest of the year the way it's looking right now. The other reason that, Boomer got me think. Boomer called this mild upset yesterday. Boomer also said that he thinks the Falcons and Bucks will be neck and neck, which is not something that I've thought. I'm like, no. This is the Bucks and everybody else. They have this clean, beautiful path to sort of fight for the one seed, I think, in the NFC and maybe make it to the big game. I do like the Falcons, though. After last night, they had Josh Allen just out of sorts. Raheem Morris, Jeff Albrecht, great job. They did what a lot of teams maybe don't do as much against the Bills. They were super aggressive. They came after Josh. Pressure from all sorts, all times, all, I don't even know, all angles. It was wild to see. They had 4 sacks, 2 huge picks. They held the Bills to 2 for 9, I'm saying. 2 for 9 on third down is crazy. D. Alford, love him, getting some shine here. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, this big ad that was taken for my Bengals that we thought they were doing their thing as far as the secondary is concerned. And it wasn't really an anomaly night either, because the Falcons, have the number 1 total defense in the land. All across the land. These Falcons, they're ahead of the Broncos defense that kept the Jets to negative yards on Sunday, yet somehow it's Atlanta that is number 1. They've been this good against pretty much everyone so far. They needed this kind of a playoff atmosphere-ish, big-time opponent, takedown, bright lights, prime time. They needed this so the rest of us would take notice. And I bet the Overlord's taking notice, by the way. Let's take a look. Atlanta, not currently in playoff position, minus 106 to get in. That on FanDuel Sportsbook this morning. Loving the value here. More on all things sportsbook with the Bussin with the boys, fellas, here in a bit. For the Bills, though, and we'll dig into this more with those two beautiful gentlemen in a moment. But I will say this for now. They did lose back-to-back games right around this time last year, too. So I'm not going to freak out. I don't have the temperature of Bills fans online. I don't know what they're doing. But we know the pieces are there. They've got the talent. They've got the reigning MVP. I almost said greatest quarterback. I don't know. but they haven't quite looked like themselves, right? On either side of the ball. And that's not just last night. I'd say it's like the last few games, the last 3 maybe. They've got a bye week, which probably is going to be when all is said and done in January. We might look back at this bye week and say that was the perfect bye week that they needed to get themselves and sort themselves right and get it together before they have this week 9 matchup against Kansas City, who are getting, of course, Rashee Rice back 3-3 going into week 7. Even though they slipped into second place, these Bills, by the way, they're still the faves. Take a look to win the division as of this morning, -230. I will say where we do have some changes. Yeah, those are your AFC East standings. Winds of change alert, everybody. This is wild. Okay, winds of change here. The Bills and Chiefs tied as the Super Bowl faves, both sitting there at 650, plus 650 as you're saying. Packers, a close third at plus 700. I'd like to point out this is the first time that Kansas City has been in the top spot when it comes to these Super Bowl 60 odds. They are the top spot. I believe Patrick Mahomes, after Josh Allen's game last night, I believe Patrick Mahomes, Hamilton, is this true? Is he the lone wolf atop the MVP world?
He is now the MVP favorite after last night. He moved ahead of Josh. Baker pulled into a tie with Josh for second.
I think that's right.
Yeah. It's probably where it should be right now. Maybe Baker shift, up a little bit more, but yeah.
I don't think Baker wants to be. Let's just get this out. And I'm sure the guys are waiting to come on. We've got the other game to get to. I've not been rooting for Baker to have the top spot at the end. Like, I don't think he wants it. I think it's better if he doesn't have it. All of those things. I think all of those things work in Baker's favor. So I'm going to say he doesn't deserve to be there. And he needs to work a little harder. And maybe he shouldn't wear his hat backwards. You know, Baker? I love it for him.
Somebody with the Bucks is clipping that off to show him before this next game. There you go.
Yeah, and then he'll get mad at me, and he somehow will have missed like the everyday 80% of our show is like Baker mania. And you know me, I don't like when I like a guy, and then everyone likes him. I stop liking him. So we're almost there. It's too saturated. Everybody's saying Baker's all the big wig media. So like everyone just talking about Baker, picking them as their nobody. I'm out. Baker, I might be out. I got to find the next. Maybe I'll flip over to Sam Darnold for a little bit because I don't like it.
The messed up part though is you were doing this before the season even started. You were talking about them going to that NFC Championship game.
But it's almost like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because now all of a sudden, like week 7, insert analyst here can be like, Baker, nobody's playing better than Baker. And I'm like, I know the cool alt band, and now they're selling out arenas. Get out of here. And then I stopped liking them. That's a deeper issue for another day. Let's get into, oh my gosh, the Bears. How funny was this? I'm like, sorry, Jake Moody. I've given you a lot of grief over the years. This is amazing. 3rd straight win for Chicago. Game changing, culture shifting, all of that. I saw a few too many people. I have a very good pulse of the Bears fans. They're very active on my pages here on socials and here on the show on YouTube. A lot of NFC North fans said that the Bears got lucky last night, that they played ugly. They didn't deserve this one. F off. Like, get out of here. I'm not going to sit here and poke holes in the Bears finding and scratching their way to a 3rd straight win and a win against a true contender, a team that's likely to be in the mix deep into the playoffs somehow. All this team has done in recent memory is find ways to lose in these situations. What a moment. That's all. That's kind of all I got. We were like, do I have a hot take for this? Like, do I have something I want to say? No, these are the type of wins that you are just Jake Moody, confident, boosting yourself into changing what's always been there, what's been there for a very long time. The defense came up with plays when they need to. This DeAndre Swift shift, this whatever like Ben Johnson run scheme that's going on. I'm not a savant on that, but it looks like it's cool. It looks fun. 2nd game in a row, Caleb Williams had the ball trailing in the 4th quarter and won the damn thing. Jordan fist pumping, all so excited to leave his hometown. I love this for him. I love this win for Caleb. I love you'll never forget the Hail Mary, but it sure watered it down last night, didn't it? Both those drives, by the way, last night and against the Raiders, he just looked good, Caleb. He looked calm. He looked in charge. Whatever people love to say, the poise word, the trite word that people love to throw around with quarterbacks. He looked like that. Whatever that is, he looked like that. I will say this. What could I will say this. I will say, can we pull up the schedule? I said this in the morning meeting. They're going to be fine. They're going to win these next 4. What an opportunity ahead of them, okay? They've got the Saints, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Giants. Bengals, I love. I love all these teams. And they might have Lamar back for that Ravens game. I still think they win all 4 of these. They're going to get to 7-2. I am that excited for Chicago. I'm that in on Caleb. The whole thing bears to the moon from here. Commanders, I would take big missed opportunity. You could have hopped in first place in the division. That would have been nice for you. Then you're sort of more in the 1 seed conversation that you want to be in. Sloppy performance on their end. Sure. Questions on defense. Sure. Number 5 was just unbelievable. He's back. As long as Jaden's out there, they're in the mix in the NFC. We're not counting them out. Sucks to have lost. Terry's going to come back. I'm cool with it. Okay, short break here. We'll have the Bussin guys on the other side. That's right, Will Compton. How's that chia pet on your forehead, on your head going? And the smiles. Thanks for taking the time. Oh, wow. Take whatever vitamins you're taking. Shit. That is. I wish my hair could grow that fast.
That thing is roaring back.
Yeah. I'm going to Notre Dame this weekend. People hate exciting. Notre Dame. Love and hate.
Is
it a polarizing team like a top? Would it be a top 5 college polarizing program? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, who's number 1? Like the love or hate?
I really think they're number 1 because they get the national TV treatment. They're kind of the team that everybody picks if you don't have a team near you, I feel like.
I know nothing about it except I see slow-mo coach videos on my TikTok all the time. That coach is always in slow-mo, always walking into the stadium. I don't know what the stadium's called. What's it called? I don't even know.
God, I can't. I'm blanking right now, but South Bend, Indiana. Yeah.
South Bend, Touchdown Jesus. I know a couple of the bars. Yeah. I've been there before. I went there. I saw one game there before. I don't think I've been to a college game since then. And that had to be 2011, I think was when I went, with an ex-boyfriend. Michigan State and Notre Dame. I remember it very well. That's probably the last college game I went to. So I'm actually excited, but they have no Greek life, right? So I don't know. It's not a very fratty place, right? Or is it? No. I don't know. I don't know what should I expect from the tailgate? I need help. The good people on the Twitter machine. Tell me where to go, what to expect. It's USC, also a hated team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Whenever you get those national programs, there's a lot of hatred that comes with them.
Who's their coach? Don't kill me. Who's their coach? USC? Sorry, I'm going to make you Google things. I don't pay attention.
Lincoln Riley. Yeah, the old Oklahoma coach. Yeah.
Did he bring back Catholic Mass? Did he I'm trying to think all the things I know. I know he did that. Am I going to swing by the grotto in depth? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to live my best life. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want a tailgate. I want the full on experience. So if anyone can help me out with that on both sides. I was getting people just assumed that that's where I was going. So I said I was going to a college game, and I got a lot of a lot of USC fans. A lot of USC fans were stop by and drink our Trojan lemonade, whatever the heck, whatever tailgate vibes. They were yeah, I will do that.
Nice.
Okay, got it. What a weekend in Dallas. These two fine gentlemen. Come on down. Bussin with the boys. Will Compton, Taylor Lewan. What is this photo?
That is the Red River rivalry. The purists know it as the Red River shootout between Oklahoma and Texas. They brought out that beautiful trophy, and we were able to take a nice little photo in front of that thing.
And look, hand up during that TV timeout, I was talking half the time with you guys, thinking that you guys could hear me, and Taylor was just looking at his phone. They can't hear you.
They can't. You're like, we're going to South Bend this weekend.
I was kind of like,
can you guys give me some?
Like it made sense.
Oh, I didn't get to hear any of that. Can you guys tell me where I should, like, what do I need to know? USC, give me the starter pack. Talk to a 5-year-old. What's the deal?
Great rivalry. Not a whole lot to do in South Bend, Indiana.
Nope.
The place you're going to want to go is linebackers. Tailgating scene is great. The campus is beautiful.
Okay.
But and then the stadium's absolutely beautiful and historic. It'll be an awesome game. Cool helmet game.
Yeah, go to the linebacker.
Okay.
Set up on the outside, but that's really the only place to go. Very good atmosphere on game day, like around the stadium. I think you'll have a lot of fun, a lot of legacy and history there. So you will appreciate that.
Will I? Okay, give me like the. I'm at the, what is it? Linebackers? The linebacker?
The linebackers.
I'm at the linebacker. I see like a guy, and I want to like sound awesome in front of him about like like impress him. What's the thing about the game? I would say.
You just go, hey, listen, Pete Carroll's really got USC humming right now.
No, stop.
He's messing with you. Here's what you tell him. Hey,
yeah.
There's some chatter about Marcus Freeman going to Penn State. You think he goes? You think he stays?
Okay.
CJ Carr, he's got a very good young quarterback. He seems to be, he's dicing it up right now. Very promising star of the future.
Yeah, well, let's get into all of this. So they fire, that's good advice. Yeah, although I hope he stays there. I like those slow-mo videos of him walking into that Notre Dame stadium on national television. Penn State, okay? They fired James Franklin. Even I saw this. It was all over my timeline. That's when you know it's serious, gentlemen. I understand he had trouble beating good opponents, tough schedule, whatever. He had 3 straight double-digit win seasons, though, I saw this morning. For the first time in 40 years at Penn State. Taylor, was this the right move?
I think it was brewing. It was coming. We were talking about it about 3 weeks ago before the Oregon Penn State game. And it's like, if you don't win this game, if you're the Penn State program, are you happy with being a 10-2 squad every single year? And I think like Penn State's in a very weird situation right now at the NIL. Guys can just get up and leave. They have a lot of decommits happening right now. People need to remember what that program looked like when James Franklin took over. After all the allegations, a bunch of stuff happened in the past that we won't get into right now. But essentially with the sanctions and everything, Penn State was a dying on the vine program. And he was able in the last 10, 11 years, 13 years, whatever it was, bring them back to a program that you have to worry about every single year if they're on your schedule. So they have to do a great job with this hire. There's some big names out there that Will Compton can talk about, including Marcus Freeman. But it probably was the best move if you want to get over the hump of that, the top 25 record you just displayed on the screen.
I'm a little slower to say that it was the right move, just because history. We have some data points. You look at Auburn when they got rid of Gus. You look at Florida when they made their big move in the 2010s. You look at Nebraska back when Bo Pelini was having 9-10 win seasons, and it was a very emotional fan base. We lost games we shouldn't have lost. We lost a couple big games in a bad way. Pressure happens. It was happening at Penn State. You see Indiana go take down Oregon. You see what Signetti's done within 2 years at the University of Indiana. So the pressure and the emotion is really high. But I just think back with my Huskers when we got rid of Bo Pelini. We brought in Mike Riley, and we just descended into the depths, into the abyss. We whiffed on Scott Frost, still in the abyss. We're starting to come out of it now, but that's after a decade of everybody screaming that they got to get rid of Bo Pelini, because in Bo, there was only 3 coaches at the time over that span that won over 60 games. It was Chip Kelly, it was Nick Saban, and it was Bo Pelini. We got rid of Bo Pelini, and the program just went downhill. So that's where I'm like hesitant on, was it the right move for Penn State? I know they want to get over the hump. I know he had a brutal record versus top opponents, but again, it is hard to win in this game. It's hard to win in college football, but people want national titles.
I feel like I don't know anything, but I was just reading, just looking at the record and all of that as an outsider. I just really feel like the hardest thing to do is to consistently win. And like those double digit, and he seemed to like resurrect the program and be better. They've been better than they've been in a long time consistently. So
they were a game away from the national championship last year.
Yeah.
I know your world's football, but just imagine a coach being on the hot seat. They're a game away from the Super Bowl. Eagles were, they were like a play away from winning the Super Bowl. And then when they go 10-1 and then start going downhill, they all want Sirianni's head. Like it is, The fan bases get very emotional.
I will ask you this though, Will, because I saw and you brought up Nebraska 9 times already. So I'll ask you, Matt Rule. I know him. That's one that I know. That's his alma mater, Penn State. What are the chances he leaves Nebraska?
My confidence level 1 to 10 about Coach Rule staying, I think is a 10. I think what Coach Rule and I have built over the last 3 years is a very promising future for Nebraska. I think that there is a pretty girl with a lot of nostalgic, emotional ties to where he would be interested in that next pretty girl as an opportunity. But I think if you're a head coach in college football, you want a few different things. You want, a place where you feel like your family can be and thrive. He has that in Nebraska. You want a place where you have all the resources in the world with facilities, ability to recruit. He has that. And now in the NIL world, the money world, if you want to compete for national titles, this is where it's more of outside of Coach Rule and more of the donors and the money that's there. You want a wallet that can pay for, get the recruits that you want in there, but also keep the good players who are on the roster. I think that is where, could Penn State have more of that opportunity for Coach Rule? Could Nebraska now start ponying up could they all be aligned? Because if Coach Rule has all of that alignment, that AD Troy Dana, if they have all of that alignment, Nebraska's all in on that, I don't think he goes anywhere.
I wish we could, I wish we had instant replay on this show because you literally, your exhale and your face, but you before you said 10 out of 10, it was like a 0 out of 10. I don't know that I believe.
Well, I do think it's real.
Okay,
I think the conversations are real. There's going to be a lot of things that happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, let's forget the fact.
I need Jake. I need Jake from social media for our team to go back and. I need a slow-mo pause of what Will's face looked like when I asked that. Sorry, what were you saying, Taylor?
No, I was just going to say, we're going to forget the fact that he, was born essentially with a Penn State onesie on. He walked onto the program. Yeah. He loves the program. He goes on vacations with the AD for Penn State. I'll say this, if you go to Penn State, there's an expectation for you to win a national championship right away. If you stay in Nebraska for the next 10, 15 years, you can get those 10-win seasons. You can have a longer leash and get the money involved there with those boosters, everything. Because people are going to – Matt Rule, knowing a little bit of him, he doesn't need more money. He's getting a buyout from the Panthers. He's making $8-9 million with Nebraska right now. What he wants is money to go with the program. If he gets those things, and I'm Matt Rule, why not stay and have a statue in the Husker Stadium for the rest of your life, as opposed to going to Penn State, which might make you feel good in the moment. But
Taylor,
your leash is shorter. If it doesn't work out there, where does your career go from then?
You're such a good friend, Taylor. That was the ultimate hype man.
I try to show Will the way
moment.
On being a good friend every day. I do my best. Hey, Huskers. I do poke them a lot, but I do want the Huskers to be successful.
And let's go to your backyard now, Taylor, and talk about these Titans. Big news. They move on from Brian Callahan 6 games into the year. What did you think when you saw that?
We got a guy over here, Jack McPherson. You've met him before. He's been clamoring for that, I think, before the season even started. The issue with the Tennessee Titans is, from a roster standpoint, they're not a competitive roster. You have too many holes in too many different areas. But even with that, you watch the way the game unfolds. If you turn off the volume of the game and you just watch, you can see that not only are they outmatched from a talent standpoint, they're being outmatched from a coaching standpoint as well in those 6 games. The Cardinals game, you look back at their only win this year. A lot of Carney type of acts had to take place for them to win that game. And then you go and play the Las Vegas Raiders, who are also 1-4, and they dominate you on the line of scrimmage. They put your quarterback in a blender. A lot of heat is coming on Cam Ward now when everyone's like, he's not the problem. And once I saw Callahan in a press conference start to turn on the quarterback a little bit, you could kind of see the writing on the wall. This franchise deserves better from a winning standpoint. They had it with Mike Vrabel. They had a great team, a good group of guys that came together week in and week out. And this city deserves that. They deserve to have a team they can rally behind. And when you're not competitive, it hurts. It hurts the game of football. It hurts the city of Nashville. So they have a lot of growing to do in the next 12 months. Critical
hire for Cam. This is a big hire for them. Where should they look? What should they do?
The names that pop out to me, there's a spicy one out there. He's in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Hall of Fame. He won a Super Bowl with Tampa. Why not Gruden? Why not go after, take a big swing at Gruden? He's working for Barstool right now. You watch his breakdowns on YouTube. He does an incredible job. That's a fun idea. I love the idea of Jesse Minter. I know he's a defensive-minded head coach, but it's all about, you can focus on having a strong defense and then hire, do your best hiring from an OC standpoint.
Look at Seattle.
And then also Joe Brady, the OC for Buffalo. I know they've had a couple of skittish weeks and they've stalled out a couple of times, but friend of the show, future friend of the show.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that understands ball and puts his guys in positions to be successful.
Also, why not? Let's just throw a sneaky name in the hat. Let's say they go and win the AFC. Let's go and say they win the AFC North and continue to get better on offense. What about old Arthur Smith reunion back in Tennessee? Second the head coach.
That's a good one.
What about Joe Brady?
Yeah, I think Joe Brady's, last 2 weeks haven't been the most ecstatic thing you've ever seen on offense, but
who cares?
The guy who understands ball. He's been with a guy like Josh Allen for a few years.
What's his name up there? Josh Allen?
But guys but if they win the Super Bowl, he'd go. Or if they didn't, it's like you have to think, what does he want, right? But would he want that gig? I don't know. He's got a nice gig up there right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Joe Brady, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You have a hell of a running game right now. They got to fix some issues on defense. But yeah, if you're Joe Brady, there are moments. It's like Ben Johnson. He's with the Bears now, but the year before that, he was all around all the head coaching carousel.
Yeah,
and he chose to stay in Detroit. Sometimes you have to wait for the right opportunity. And if you're Joe Brady and you're a big-time offensive-minded guy, you have to fully know that the entire organization on board is going to help with this revamp, because there's a lot of holes right now in Tennessee. So right now on the surface, it seems like that would not be a move Joe Brady would want to make.
Yeah, it speaks more truth to where the Tennessee Titans have put themselves at as a franchise.
Yeah.
If you have guys like Joe Brady and individuals that want to be a head coach, but then look at the Tennessee Titans job and go, that's not an avenue for me to be successful. Now you're in a really bad spot as a franchise.
And people might also be like, well, you're saying Joe Brady shouldn't take it. Why would Arthur Smith? He's an OC as well. It's more of like, hey, I have a Hall of Fame quarterback and a very good offense right now. We don't know what Aaron's going to be doing after this year in Pittsburgh. Those are kind of the differences there between those two.
They're going to have to really, it's just, I want Cam Ward to be what we know what he can be. And I know Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is another name. I don't know about that.
He's been floated in a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
Is that a job Gruden wants?
I don't know.
I think Gruden just wants to coach some football.
Yeah, he just
anywhere.
I don't think I've ever met an individual that loves ball more than Gruden. He salivates at the idea of just being in front of 53 men and telling them what to do.
Okay, that's my dream. Okay, let's move on here. I want to talk about Monday Night Football, guys. The Falcons defense. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. Josh Allen, who we love, that guy up there, 180 yards. That's pretty impressive. They sack him 4 times. They were so aggressive. Will, what was so impressive to you?
They play with effort. This defense, the Falcons defense, for anybody who watches the games down in the NFC South, outside of Tampa Bay, the Falcons defense rolls. They play with so much effort. They're very sticky in coverage. They're the number 1 pass defense going into this game, and they proved it against Josh Allen. You see the stat line, 180 yards. What my question is for Buffalo, I know you have the Hall of Fame quarterback. He can win you games. He can be Superman, but also you have a hell of a running game that's going on with James Cook. When you get in the backs lined up 6-7 yards deep and you're running duo over and over, and James Cook is running for over 5 a carry, I don't see why they get away from the running game, because it sets up so many other things. Josh Allen, he's out there trying to make something out of nothing. But when you have sticky coverage on the back end, you have the front seven playing with nothing but effort. Caden Ellis, he's got some splash plays out there that you see. White boy making a spin move on the edge, pop somebody on the sideline. But there's one critical moment when they're in 2nd and 8. Buffalo pops him for a couple runs, and they're in 2nd and 8. Josh Allen's looking for a scramble. They're in man coverage, nothing but green grass. And this young man, Caden Ellis, just puts his head down and sprints toward the sideline, not even looking at Josh Allen, ends up getting into the grass to make it a 3rd and 3. They get off the field. This team with Atlanta is playing with effort, and you love to see it, and they're proving it against a team like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, their biggest problem right now is consistency. If they can go every single week and play the way they did last night, they could be a team that could make a deep run in the playoffs. But it's 1 week, it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. 1 week you're great, the next week you're falling around the Panthers, and it's just a crazy. They just need more consistency from the top.
Taylor, should they add somebody on the Bills side? Because there's this. I mean, you can only play who you're given, all of that, but their 4 wins are against teams that are combined 3-21. Okay. There's a narrative that they're not crushing the competition and they have better opponents. Couple weeks, trade deadline countdown going on. What is a tweet that you'd like to see your boy Schefter send? Who to Buffalo?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on where you're looking. Are you looking at to strengthen up your back end of your defense, which has been a problem for you this year? Make your pass rush a little bit better and get to the quarterback to help the back end of the defense? Or do you want to add a wide receiver for Josh Allen, because it seems like his weapons that he has on the perimeter right now aren't getting open? You will refer to the sticky coverage of the Atlanta Falcons. That's been a consistency all year long, where Josh has had to make plays with his legs in order to get his guys open. And so it's like, yeah, you would love to see moves, Trey, with the GM beam up there. Like, do your best to go get you a receiver, go get you a DB or a defensive end. But
which one? What's more important? They're 17th in total in scoring defense. That's not going to probably cut it.
Yeah,
defense, yeah.
And for me, it's like, if you can make a big swing at getting a pass rusher, that's going to help everybody, all 11. You can have great corners, but if they have to stay in coverage for 4, 5, 6 seconds, their guys are going to go free. So getting a pass rusher is going to be the biggest one. Trey Hendrickson, it's a thought.
I love it. I mean, I don't want to do it yet. I think the Bengals aren't exactly like the Jets as far as buying and selling. Like, that's way too weak. They got Flacco. He looked better in the second half. But like, at a certain point, if you can get something back with one of these contending teams, like, and you can build yourself up for next year with the Bengals, like, I'm for it. I was, and they didn't marry him. They put a ring on him. He's got a year. Like, let Trey fly then. If you're not, if it's not happening, I'm dying to see where he goes. I think Coach Lou would love him in Indy. Coach Payton, who we of course like popped on the scene at the Saints with. I'd love to see all those things happen. Taylor, let's get to the other game. It was Commanders, Bears. Why does Troy Aikman hate Caleb Williams?
I don't know. I don't know why he hates Caleb Williams, but you got to give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson and that team for coming out of a bye week with their hair on fire, helmets on fire. Their ability to run the ball, the holes that the offensive line made and created. I think Swift had like 168 yards of either total rushing or total yards altogether, puts Caleb in positions to be successful. There was a big conversation taking place about the corners. They love to run man coverage with Washington, and they were able to pick them apart through play action and just regular drop back passes as well. Caleb is taking some big steps. I think they won their last 3, and then you put it up in the break. Their next 4 are very winnable. This is a team that, you look at the NFC North, so I don't know if they're in a position to win it with the Lions and the Packers, more the Lions and the Packers, but they're a team that can sneak themselves in the playoff and get a lot of this like kind of ugly talk around Caleb Williams off of him, especially with the help of Ben Johnson.
What do you think, Will?
No, I agree with everything Taylor's saying. I think Coach Johnson, they're doing a great job with the game plan of just having games be close. They're not behind in a way to where Caleb has to be Superman. They're able to win schematically, put him in good positions to be as talented as he is. Defense is playing salty. That run game last night with Swift and the Bears. I mean, you see an offensive lineman get to the second level. They're parting holes like the Red Sea against a good run defense in Washington. But yeah, I think they've made huge strides. They just got to continue to get better. Caleb's got to continue to see the field well. And I think when he's got a pairing with Coach Johnson, I think he will continue to make progress and get better.
I like this, like, slowly but surely, brick by brick. Like, I like what's happening, trending in the right direction.
That's how it has to be in Chicago. That's how it has to be in Chicago.
I think that's exactly right. Okay, we're going to take a TV break. Still live on YouTube. We're going to play Bussin' or Buyin'. Subscribe to the YouTube page, guys. And, of course, go listen to Bussin' with the boys. Okay, we're calling this Bussin' or Buyin' speed round here. I'm going to give you odds for a team or a player, and you tell me if you're buying. So let's go first up. Taylor, KC, now the co-favorite to win the Super Bowl. It's plus 650. Bussin' or Buyin' the Chiefs as the Super Bowl co-favorites?
I hate to say it, but I think I'm buying. I mean, you've been able to. You're scoring 31 points a game right now without Rashid Rice. He's now coming off suspension. They got all their weapons back. Their defense is playing salty. The Buffalo Bills were also sitting up there tied. Like, their defense is a little shaky, and I think their path looks very clear right now to, at the very least, make it to the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs are back like they never left.
Will Mahomes is the. Oh, sorry. I'm going to do one for each of you so we can get. Sorry. MVP.
Okay,
Mahomes.
sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
right now. Team to beat right now in that division is the Broncos. But go ahead, Kay.
No, I love that. Plus 200 Mahomes MVP favorite. He's all alone after last night's Josh Allen situation. Are you buying that?
Bussin. Right now, I think the MVP front runner should be Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely.
And now, listen, Patrick Mahomes is playing at an MVP level, absolutely. But again, I'm more bussing this because I think the front runner right now should be Baker Mayfield. The way he's operating and playing without any weapons. I mean, what is it? Emeka Mbuka. Him getting injured last week, like, I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. I think he's doing a lot with, a lot of injuries happening on that roster. Right now, the favorite should be Baker Mayfield.
And here comes Tez Johnson. Okay, let's do this one. Let's start with Will. Lions and Eagles, they both lost. Packers move up to the NFC favorites at plus 370. I don't know how to feel about that. Are you busting or buying the Packers to win the whole conference?
I'm buying it. I like the Packers. They had a couple lapses over the last 3 weeks with Dallas and Cleveland, but I think this team's going to figure it out. They usually play their best ball in the back half of the year. As long as they stay healthy, this Packers roster is as good as anybody, so I'm buying the Packers.
Taylor, Niners are banged up even more now. Still the fave to win the division at plus 155. Bussin or buying?
I believe I'll be, what's a bad one? Bussin. I'll be bussin on that one. I love the Seahawks. And I love the Rams. I think those are the two teams in this division. Got to give a big shout out to Kyle Shanahan and what he's been able to do with that offense with as many guys as he has hurt right now. I know they're getting George Kittle back this week, but when you lose Fred Warner, you've lost Nick Bosa, you lost Juwan Jennings. You can only give CMC the ball so many times before there's too much wear and tear come December. The Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold is playing out of his absolute mind right now.
Amazing.
And for the Los Angeles Rams, I know Puka Nakua's got themselves a little ankle issue, but once he comes back, they'll be running full force. I got a lot of pride in both those teams.
And don't sleep on Seattle's defense. I know this isn't my question, but don't sleep on Seattle's defense.
You guys are so cute. I love it. Okay, you're not only bussing with the boys, you're boosting with the boys. Another 50% profit boost token on FanDuel Sportsbook. That's pretty generous. That's amazing. And people can use it on any college football bet. So if you use that boost on one underdog quickly for the weekend, who are you rolling with, Will?
USC. They're 9.5 dogs at Notre Dame. 9.5-point dogs. The way USC beat the hell out of Michigan last week, this team, this offense, they're going to continue to roll. Lincoln Riley's got them operate them offensively. One of the best quarterbacks in the country, receivers in the country, run games in the country. 9.5-point underdogs. That is my underdog pick for the weekend.
Go ahead, Taylor.
For me, I'm gonna have to go Purdue. If this is an outright win, I don't know if USC is gonna win the game outright in South Bend, Indiana, but I believe Purdue is going to beat Northwestern. They're 2.5-point dogs right now. Take that one money line. Use the 50% profit boost on that one. Northwestern. I mean, both schools are probably equal in talent, not very good, but Northwestern's coming off a very emotional win versus Penn State at Penn State. This is where they go back home. They get a little humbled by the Boilermakers.
And here's the beautiful thing: you can use that 50% profit boost token on any college football game. Anything. It doesn't have to be outright. It could be points. It could be whatever you want. 50% profit boost, boosting with the boys.
It's amazing. Boosting with the boys, busting with the boys. Subscribe on YouTube wherever you get and download and watch and listen to our podcast. Appreciate you guys. I'm excited to pick up a boyfriend at the linebacker. I'm so excited.
Let's go.
There you go. Go get you one, Kay.
South Bend, here we come. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Love you too.
O-line. Defense. Hey, to run it out there at the end, that's awesome. Now, that's tough. Right? That is tough. Right? That is tough.
Well. If it isn't 9-year NFL vet starting right tackle, life's pretty good for Jermaine Eluemunor.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you feeling? How do you feel after that win?
Winning solves a lot, so I feel good about it.
I love that. I'm in London right now. I'm in a hotel room in London. You grew up in, I think it's called Chalk Farm, north of Camden, right?
Yeah, Chalk Farm. Mm-hmm.
What's one thing I should do before I leave?
Have you been to Camden Town yet?
No.
So
Where
Camden Town, it's called the Camden Lock, quote unquote. There's like a bunch of really good street food. For some reason, street food in England gets a bad rep, but I feel like when guys go over there, they go to like the little bougie spots, like all these like expensive restaurants and things like that instead of like going for the real street food. So in my opinion, go to Camden Lock. Literally just put it in your map, take a cab there. Tell me you want to go to Camden Lock. And there's like a whole bunch of different like street food vendors. Like,
what's the order? Give me the order. I'll go right there.
There's this one place where it's like a Yorkshire pudding burrito where it's like beef, a little horseradish, some potatoes, some vegetables, like gravy. It's like this big burrito that I think is amazing.
Is Yorkshire pudding like the blood stuff?
Nah, you're thinking about blood pudding. That's like the pig guts and stuff like that. I don't mess with that.
I can't do that. What's Yorkshire pudding? What is that?
Yorkshire pudding is it's like a bread basically, but it's like a bread, a cup bread. It's like a bread that's in the shape of a cup that let's say for Thanksgiving, if you have Yorkshire pudding, you put some turkey in there, some gravy, potatoes, stuffing, some vegetables, and like wrap it all up and eat it as a sandwich.
I'm in. I gotta tell you, we said this on the show yesterday. Food in London completely slept on. I'm obsessed. I'm having the time of my life here. The greatest time ever. Okay, exactly. Congrats. So were you with the win over Philly, which I think was huge. Let's revisit the final drive of the game, Jermaine. Dable leans on the O-line, runs the ball 8 times before taking a knee. What does that do? What does that mean? How satisfying was it to run it down their throats 7 minutes away from salting the game away?
I think the coolest thing as an offensive lineman is when you can take a knee, the victory formation on their side of the field, but after going on a nice long drive and, going on a drive like that, knowing that we have them right where we want them was really dope. As offensive lineman, when you're just making your block, you're seeing a scat run through the hole for a first down. It's probably one of the most satisfying feelings you can get as an offensive lineman. The next one is as, your quarterback throwing a 50-yard touchdown after you're, locking your guy up. But there's just something about going on a long drive like that to start the game, to really just put it away. The only other time I've done that is Christmas Day in Kansas City with the Raiders back in 2003. We went on that long drive to win the game too. So, 4-minute drives, they're tough because the defense is going to go, they're going to throw everything at you. But when you get those and you put the game away in that drive, it's the most satisfying thing ever.
You gave up one pressure the whole night, but I bet you're like, I want that one back.
Nah, for sure. I mean, my job and just, how serious I take it, I want to make sure Dart doesn't get hit at all because, everyone sees what he can do when he gets time. And I feel like us as offensive line, we've done a pretty damn good job doing that, and we can obviously be better. But, I really pride myself in making sure he stays up and stays clean. And, I've done a pretty good job of that this season, but there's always room for improvement.
He's special, that Dart. He is. Just meeting him. I met him when he was still in college. We were doing a Dick's Sporting commercial, sporting goods commercial at 3 a.m. They shut their store down. He was just something about him was special to me. And I'm like, I'm going to know him in the NFL because I don't follow college football at all. I liked your quote. You said, I've kind of waited my entire career to play with a guy like that. That's the quote. What is it that Jackson has?
I would say, in my career, I've been around I've been around Tom Brady, but I wasn't a starter.
And Lamar.
Been around Lamar, obviously, 2 of the best to play the position. And I've been around a lot of great quarterbacks. But with Dart, it's kind of it's like that. How do I explain it? It's just different, I've practiced with Tom, I practiced with Lamar, and that's not me putting those expectations on them at all. Mm-hmm. It's really cool to be in a huddle with guys like that where they have no fear. And a lot of the quarterbacks I play with have no fear. But with him, it's just knowing that he's back there and he can make just plays like this play coming up on the screen right now. That's such a crazy. And as an offensive lineman, just seeing your guy do that is the coolest thing ever. And, I've watched Lamar do that. I've watched Kyler do that. Caleb Williams, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, all these guys just make crazy plays like that with their feet. And it's really satisfying as an offensive lineman knowing that you'll go out there, you're going to block your butt up for your guy. And, as long as you give him time, that's that one bad pressure right there by me. You won't see that ever again.
But you're saying, here's what I heard. He's fearless. And then you like what he does outside the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's a very, very creative playmaker, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he just makes you want to go out there and just do everything you can to make sure he doesn't get hit. Like we're out there just throwing our bodies on the line, just sacrificing ourselves so he can stay clean. And, he feels the same way. That's the thing. Like I'm sure everyone's seen that third down where he's just diving for it. That's just how committed how much he wants to win. And it's really had a positive effect on this team, and everyone's buying into it, but everyone's feeding off that energy that he brings. And it's addictive, and it's really cool to see coming out.
I feel like, so when I scroll on like TikTok, I'll get these ads for like a master class. Like, let me teach you a master class on how to do this, or like the people in their industry. If you could tell a quarterback what they should say in a master class and try and getting an offensive lineman to put their body on the line for them, what would you say? Like, what is it that Jackson does that makes you want to do that? What is it?
You just know you're going to get his best every single game. Like, you just know he's going to go out there for 60 minutes. He's going to give everything he has. And as an offensive lineman, if you're not doing that too, and you're not matching that, if not exceeding that, then you're failing him. And I think all five of us, or really the offensive lineman we have in that building, every single one of us want to go out there and protect that kid with our lives and make sure we do everything humanly possible to make sure he wins the game, because he deserves that, because he puts in the work, he sacrifices everything. I mean, like I said, this kid's just as beat up as us right now because he's putting his body on the line every single play, trying to make plays for this team and this franchise. And it's really had a positive effect on everyone. But I'd say, look, he's going just as hard as us, and he's in the trenches with us, and that means a lot.
Yeah. It's been so fun to watch. It was really fun to obviously watch Thursday Night Football. I should have known you were going to have this crazy game when you rolled in with this pregame fit. What is going on here?
Hey, look, I mean, I'm working with this stylist right now, Marty McFresh. He's from New York, and he's a big guy too. And, for me, the whole thing with fits is it kind of shows my confidence for the game. And, with a guy that struggled with confidence and just gets really anxious before games, I wanted to make sure that all my fits kind of show how confident I am. And with that fit, it's a little crazy, it's a little out there, but Marty understands that, it's really big for me to have a crazy fit going into the game that not everyone would wear. I will say, though, a lot of people were wearing denim for the game, which was kind of crazy. I'm glad no one wore what I wore. But, for me, it's just my confidence, and confidence doesn't start as soon as I walk on the field. It starts before I even walk in the building. And I want to walk in the building showing just how confident I am going into that game. So every fit I put on this season is going to show just how confident I am.
Talking about your anxiousness, when do you get how are you handling that? How's it, obviously changed? You're saying the confidence, but you get anxiety before games?
Yeah, I'm so anxious. I mean, I strive for perfection, and like you mentioned, the one pressure. Like, I try to be perfect as much as I possibly can, and no one's perfect. Everyone's going to give up a little pressure here or there. The big thing, I don't do no sacks. I want to be as perfect as possible. But for me, it's just, I do a thing where I think about the negatives, and I think how that negative can affect the game. And I try to do everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen. But sometimes I overwhelm myself. So a big thing for me is just meditating. Like, if you see me pregame, I do my warm up, I do, get ready, and then I'll go to the goalpost, sit down, put my hood up, and I'll just meditate. And I have a mental coach, Brian Kane, who's been real instrumental for me, just helping me get into the right mind space in order to go out there and perform at my highest level for 60 minutes. Because, it's playing tackle in the NFL, as everyone knows, isn't the easiest thing. You're going against guys who are killers, who run 4.4s, 240, 50 pounds, who can bend like Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett, Von Miller, and all these other amazing athletes that we go against. So, I'm a big 330-pound guy going backwards trying to block these guys. So there's so many different things going on that sometimes it can be overwhelming. And meditation for me kind of brings me back down to where I need to be and centers me. So I go into the game exactly where I need to be mentally.
I'm going to tell you this stat, and you've allowed 2 sacks. I feel like you're not going to like that, but that's very good. You've played 419 snaps this year. These pass rushers are rarely getting by you. Heading into Sunday, you were ranked 26 out of 112 tackles as far as PFF pass block grade. I don't even know what that means. I shouldn't have even read that. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough. But 2 sacks on 419, like, that's sort of insane, and something that you should be proud of. I want to talk a little bit about maybe your defense and give them some love. Offense is looking great. Skattebo is insane, all of that. But I do want to ask you, like, you know, Brian Burns, Dex, Abdul, Kayvon, this is no joke. This is no joke, considering that you do face these guys every day. How does practice feel compared to game days when you don't have to go against them?
Oh, practice is intense. You know, in training camp, me, Burns, Abdul, you know, we all made an agreement saying we're going to practice harder than anything. So once we get out there, it's just we're in a flow state, we can go. And I think that's why you've seen so much success from Burns, Abdul, Tibbs, Dex, all those guys, because we play how we practice, I would say. Like Burns had a crazy training camp, so did Tibbs, so did Abdul. You know, I'm sure everyone saw clips of them. And not much has changed, if anything. They're going out there exactly how they practiced, preaching, you know, everything we do in the building. You know, you got to practice hard in order to go out there and perform. And Burns is a killer. He should be in Defensive Player of the Year conversations because he is a game changer. Tibbs is an elite rusher, and so is Abdul. And for me personally, I loved it because I got to see all three of them every single day for training camp for 30 days, really since OTAs. So, you know, I got to see three different type of rushers every single day and help me perform and help me get better. And this was my best offseason by far because every single day was a grind. Every single day, there was no days off for me. There was no, you know, oh, the best edge rusher is going to go to the left side. No, as soon as Burns went to the left, I got Abdul, you know, and then they switched and they kept coming and it was just relentless. And that helped us grow and improve so much that now that we're in and there isn't any really rushes I haven't seen because I got to go against all three of them. And, you know, I thank them for that every single day. And I told them, I was like, hey, look, y'all going against a great tackle too. So
it's true. I just look, Burns is third in the NFL in sacks. He's third right now so far this year. 7. Let's give him that Defensive Player of the Year love. Quickly, I want to ask you about Daniel Jones because last time I talked to you, we talked about him, of course. You've had his back in the media as any amazing offensive lineman would. What does it mean to see him have this success this year? What are you thinking about?
Oh, it's great. DJ is one of the best humans I've ever met. I know he's a baller. Seeing him do his thing in Indianapolis is really cool to see because you can just see his confidence growing more and more. And, you know, he's a great player. Everyone says it. He's a great player. He's doing his thing in Indy right now. Just to watch him have as much success as he has, you know, for an offensive lineman who, you know, go out there and do everything they can to make sure he has success is the coolest thing ever. And, you know, I hope he just keeps balling and doing his thing. It's cool as hell to see. You know, I'm always going to have my quarterback back, no matter who it is. I'm always going to have their back.
Exactly. And you do. Jermaine, I can't wait to see your outfit against Denver next week. Good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll talk in the playoffs. Let's go.
We're going to keep working.
Appreciate you. Bye, Jermaine. How much time do we have for Attaboys?
3 minutes, right?
Is that too much? I'm dying. This amazing, handsome man brought on a bike cinnamon rolls for me. There's this place, but it's far. This man got on a bicycle and drove them to my hotel. This is not
some random man on a bicycle bringing you cinnamon rolls.
No, it's like the man who it's called Roll Boys. Big shout out to them. I know my internet's not great. But the cinnamon rolls in this town are just a 10 out of 10. And
that looked incredible.
I'm literally going to eat it right now. Sorry. I'm going to eat it right now. I need to try it. I go right for the jugular, right for the center. I just go right in.
That's what you have to do.
Oh, it's perfect. I want to live in London.
Between the sour patch cola things and that.
10 pounds. And then I want Yorkshire pudding, whatever that really is. Like,
I was looking it up. It looks delicious.
I love the vibe. I love the weather. I love that it's sad. I love that the men are mean. The men here drink black coffee.
There's a whole study that can be done on this one.
For a big ball. Downfield, got an open target. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown!
Attaboy!
They don't have long with this Denver Broncos defense.
Attaboy!
Pressure coming again. Herbert keeps it alive. There he goes! McConkey!
Attaboy!
Time now for Attaboys. Let's do it. Spotlighting players who deserve a little more sugar for their performance on Sunday. At number 3, not much being talked about, even though with the NFC favorites and all. Matthew Golden breakout game. Let's give him some love. Matt LaFleur, as we called it on the show, decided I'm going to unleash him in his win over the Bengals. We saw it in the run game. He had yak on the short passes. We saw it with the deep ball. A little surf and turf, a little Yorkshire pudding of all the things that we can expect from him, to the tune of 102 total yards on just 5 catches. So, by the way, context matters. These plays were in big performances. So, attaboy to Matthew Golden. A little taste of what's to come. At number 2, the Chargers running back, Kimani Vidal. Okay, no Marion Hampton. Sky is falling. No Najee, of course. O-line wrecked. Unbelievable what he was able to do. First career start, eats up the Dolphins defense, 138 total yards on 21 touches. Only Jonathan Taylor had more yards after contact than he did week 6. Attaboy, which we love, by the way. We just learned that he is the nephew of home run king Hank Aaron. What? It's his great nephew. Huh? Fitting that he's crushing it here in October, isn't it? Big factor, by the way, in getting the Chargers through this next stretch. And at number 1, Patriots corner, Marcus Jones. Listen, as great as Drake May's been, 3-game win streak does not happen without him. Punt return touchdown against the Panthers, the interception of Josh Allen last week, and then Sunday, he gets a critical sack of Spencer Rattler. 3 PBUs. Beauty on Olave. Sorry, Olave. Just scrapped and clawed and did everything. So attaboy to him. And shout out to Charles Woods, by the way, with the assist there too. It's been Marcus doing this in and out, week in, week out. Really one of the best defensive playmakers in the league. And I will say this, Hamilton, I like his girlfriend. I met her down in Mayakoba. Down in,
really?
And she was awesome. He wants to come on the show, I think.
We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute star.
I'm just eating. Tammy, you take it away. Our attaboys, go for it.
Yeah, our attaboys. The number 1, Marcus Jones, New England Patriots, playmaker on the defensive side of the ball. I'm wondering if they're going to use him a little on offense like we've seen in years past going forward. Kimani Vidal, number 2, absolutely killing it for the Chargers. And Matthew Golden, breakout game for the Packers at number 3.
We'll be back tomorrow. I believe it's Gronk Day tomorrow. I will be in New York City later today somehow. I don't know.
Sure. Why not?
We will have Prop a Shot tomorrow, and I will have champagne as I freaking crushed it. Bye-bye.